Hey guys, what's going on? Cody here with Apexx Drone Solutions. So we've got some excited news for you guys today. So we are here at the 2026 Spray Drone End User Conference. With me today is Mike with Exedy. He is the Director of Agriculture. Mike's a really good friend of mine. We do a lot of work, a lot of talking together. We've been kind of talking and collaborating on doing something new with Exedy since about this time last year.
Yep,
been really excited. Kept a lot of stuff secret in the wraps. You guys finally released stuff today. Did the official launch. I know you're about as pumped as I am to announce stuff and bring stuff over. So just want to kind of talk a little bit about Exedy, about you in general, where you came from, how you got in with Exedy, and then we're going to, once we finish here, we're going to go over to the booth. You give me kind of a tour of the booth, show me what the drones, and show me what the future looks like with the American-made drone, boys and girls. So Let's go, Mike.
So we're very excited. This has been a long time in the making. A little bit kind of background on myself. Grew up on a cash crop cattle farm in the thumb of Michigan, a little small town, Richfield, Michigan. Nobody's probably ever heard of it, but if I say Frankenmuth, most people they'll look on the map and say, oh yeah, the Christmas town.
There you go.
Grew up there. It's a very diverse portfolio of crops there. So we row crop farm and we cattle. On our row crop side, we grow corn, soybeans, dry beans, which are edible, sugar beets, wheat, alfalfa. Our farm in particular, we don't grow pickles, but pickles are a big part in that area.
Okay.
I ended up moving out to Iowa shortly after college and took a job as an agronomist out there and worked out there for 15 years. 10 years I worked in retail as an agronomist, and man, I tell you what, it was easy work. It was corn and beans, and man, as an agronomist, it was a good job. It was an easy job. Got to a point in my career where I wanted to go a different direction. Started spraying. Started doing bought my own drone, quit my job, bought my first drone, and never looked back.
So what was your first drone? What did you start with?
I started with a T40.
Okay.
Very soon after that, upgraded to a couple T50s.
Yeah.
At that time, there really weren't a lot of options for trailers, so we were just kind of makeshift building our own trailer. We made do. I mean, I kind of made it a mission to myself. I had to replace my income, and this was the direction that I was going to go for it.
Yeah.
As that progressed, I got to a point where my father's health wasn't the best, and I decided, hey, it's probably time I should probably move back to Michigan. Mm-hmm. And I did. I left Iowa, sold my business to my partner, left my book of business that I had acquired over my 15 years out there. I left that with him, moved back, and took a job back in retail with Nutrient Ag Solutions, and I've been in Michigan ever since. During that time frame, shortly before I started moving back, I made a connection through a mutual friend with the president of Exedy Drones, did some consulting on them as they were considering the option to bring a drone to market based out of the U.S., built in the U.S., and did the consulting on him and kind of went radio silent. And I figured there were some NDAs in place, which were understandable. And all of a sudden, I got a phone call one day, and Scott said, "Hey, are you interested? Do you want to come work for me?" And I took it very fast, and okay, let's do it. And I actually forgot to turn in my 2 weeks' notice. I signed my letter of acceptance before I even turned in my notice.
That's awesome.
I haven't looked back. It's been kind of a whirlwind getting to this point.
And you might have already said this. So what year did this take place? Like, when did you start with Exedy? Because I'm assuming that was the same time that Exedy's vision for an American drone kind of came to fruition, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So let's see here. I have worked for Exedy now going on 2 years.
Okay.
Yep. So this has been a concept for 3 years, been in motion for 2. And we're at the point now where, last year where you and I had met, we came to the show and we walked the show and we gathered the information. Like you and I have stayed in contact. You know, what features do you want? What features don't you like that are currently out there on the market? And what we did is we took that feedback and we went back and, you know, it's no secret. You can walk over to our booth and you guys will see when we get over there.
Yeah.
It's a boilerplate Chinese drone that we took, and we took it back and we re-engineered it and we did it for, ended up taking it and essentially made it so we could mass produce this.
Yep.
So we also took the components that we could and we sourced them locally. As it sits today, as that drone sits over there today, we're sitting at about 68 to 70% of U.S. source components on there.
Okay, which, I mean, that's exciting. I mean, you know, all the stuff going on today, you know, the drones on the market, you know, even the ones that say, you know, not knocking anybody, but they say American, which, you know, what I thought was really cool at Scott's presentation today, he really hit on that. There is no such thing as a truly American-made drone.
No.
We're not there yet.
No.
You know, as much as I hate to say this, I mean, I know you're about as patriotic as I am, and we bleed red, white, and blue.
Absolutely.
China's ahead of us.
They are.
And
Absolutely.
they're drastically ahead of us.
Yep.
And it's cool to see. I feel like you guys are taking a different approach to the other companies that are claiming that they're American-made drones. You guys are really taking an approach of you're accepting the fact that China's ahead of us, but you're trying to work to outsource stuff and bring it to America and get stuff here to, hopefully, in the next few years, you know, be truly American. And I like that, you know, like Scott said today, like he's got a plan for, you know, next year a little bit more is American, and then the next year a little bit more is American. You're not just trying to claim we're American-made drone. You're owning the fact that there is not an American drone, and you guys are saying, here is our plan to make this an American-made drone.
Absolutely. We have this road mapped out. Unfortunately, with the way that the regulations go and the FCC, that changes. I mean, as of right now, it's changing almost on a bi-weekly basis.
Yep.
And everybody knows that, and it's a headache for everybody right now, especially us. And it's very frustrating. But if we set that bar, you know, if our goal is, and you'll see it when you go over to the booth, built different.
Yep.
That's what we want to be. If we are going to push the American Drone Initiative, well, damn it, we're going to lead that pack. We're going to set that line and that bar. We're going to set that for anybody else that wants. And we're going to say, here is exactly where we are. Follow us, or lead, or get out in front of us.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can do it. We're going to lead from the front on it.
Yep.
And we're all passionate. I farm myself. Scott comes from a farming background, and I can't tell you how refreshing it is to sit down with a guy, a potential employer, who says, our goal is to produce something to give back to the American farmer.
Yeah.
That was very refreshing. In my entire career, and this is not a dig against retail or anybody who works in retail as a consultant or an agronomist, but you have to feel for those guys that deal with the fluctuation of input costs, whether it's chemistry, fertilizer, any of that.
Yep.
There's not a lot of times where, you know, these guys don't come out behind a little bit on pricing.
Yep.
We want to bring one of the best products to market that we physically can with the best components that we have available. We want to bring that to market at an affordable price for the end user.
Yeah. And, you know, and that's kind of the main selling point and main vibe like I got, you know, like when you guys approached us last year at Commodity Classic, you know, you guys came out, we talked for a long time, and you could tell you guys, like you and Scott both, you were truly looking at a way to build a drone off of pilot and farmer input that is actually going to be something. You guys, I never once got the vibe that you guys are just here making a drone to sell for money.
Yep.
Like never once have I got that vibe from you guys. And that's like I told you from the beginning, like I really feel like this could be something special because I feel like the team at Exedy and you guys are really trying to push a drone that it's for that pilot, it's for that farmer, it's to benefit, not to go mass sell, you know, hey, here's a new drone, buy it, which, I mean, you and I both know, it seems like right now everybody and their brother's releasing a drone every 6 months.
Yep,
you know?
we could have, I'm telling you, that option was on the table.
Yep, and you know, not to cut you off, but I know, like, you guys have pushed production back. to not be that guy that's just
Absolutely.
you know, like I mean, we
have
were
the inside information.
yeah,
on that.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, like
Yep.
we thought, you know, last year we were going to have something that we were going to start running, and you guys ran into some hiccups that you didn't like, and instead of just making, you know, shortcuts
Pushing
to get
it.
to an end to
Yep.
make money, you guys were like, no, we're going to do this right. And you know, now you're starting to see all those dreams and all that hard work you've put in actually come to something this year. Like what has today been like for you, knowing that you guys have officially, I want to say launched, but I don't really mean launched, because you guys really didn't launch the drone yet. You just said, hey, we're here.
Here we are.
You know, so like,
Yep.
what was that feeling like today of all the hard work you've put into this, knowing people know we are today?
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
The amount of support that we've gotten from people walking the floor and stopping in, and especially after Scott's keynote speaking address, and he walked through the company inside and out. I can't tell you how many people said, "Man, you know what? Like, you're the first person that we've listened to that was 100% straightforward and honest with us about everything."
Yep.
We appreciate that. We appreciate what you are doing.
Yeah.
I wish I had the guy's name. It's a veteran-owned custom app company. Not only did he reach out to Scott directly, but he also reached out to us on our Facebook page, and just said, like, I can't tell you how much it means to see a U.S. company doing this and actually putting in the time and the resources and the money to invest into this to help us out.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, to have everybody come and see all the support, it definitely means a lot. And there's a lot of pride of ownership on this. If you go to our booth, that's my farm in the background on all that. And
That's got to make you feel good.
man, you look in there and I'm like, my grandfather homesteaded this farm. You know, I've heard stories of how he built this farm, the house and the barn during the Depression.
Yeah.
And then you see it on there and you're like, you know, I said to my dad, I was like, I know you never really wanted to be famous, and but here you are.
Yeah.
Here's our farm on here. I said, be very proud. And he texts me back and he says, no, he says, you should be proud. That's a pretty emotional moment.
That's
man.
awesome.
It is.
That's very, very cool. It's cool. It's cool to see somebody like you that you can truly tell you're not in it for the fame or the money. I mean, for lack of better words, you're a humble farmer. It's like, holy moly, like, we're doing something big here.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you know, I imagine the past year it's been like a hell of a roller coaster. You know, you're just like, all right, we're here. Like,
That's an understatement.
where are we going to end right now?
It's an understatement.
You know,
It is. Man, with the way that legislation went, and you know, trying to figure out how we can do this. I don't want to say fast, but you know, you take a guy like you or
Yeah.
I. You're a hard charger, man. I'm
Yeah.
a hard charger. Like, in this industry, like, you have a certain window that you have to get stuff done, and you know, it's to meet the standards, the automotive standards that Exedy holds itself to. There's nothing fast about that.
Right.
You know, we have to prove out every concept that we have, whether it's through testing or beta testing, or you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Quality control.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a group of quality control engineers coming from our parent company that have to put their stamp of approval on this before we can even sell a drone.
Right, and I was going to touch on that here in a minute, because you and I talked about that earlier today. That was kind of one of the reasons you guys kind of got pushed back.
Yes.
So, like, a lot of your drones out here, they're not coming from an automotive background. So that quality control, I'm not dogging on anybody saying they're a bad drone, but that, which, in all honesty, you guys are probably going overkill. You know, because
it is.
you know, your parent company who's calling the shots at the end of the day, they're saying, if this thing is not up to our standards to be a car, then we don't want you selling it.
Correct.
So you're like, guys, it doesn't have to last 500 hours, you know, through a collision course.
Correct.
But, you know, like we talked about it, you know, like tell them, like, you know, you guys have the one right now strapped to the thing running 500 hours.
Yes. Yep.
You know?
It's running through a simulated cycle. It's strapped down, and it's running through a simulated cycle to where it's essentially, it's either it's pass or fail. And
Yeah.
when if a component does fail, it gets replaced, and that test keeps going on. And that part is then taken and gone through another quality control product. Okay, why did it fail? But that test still continues until the destruction of that drone.
Yeah.
Or 500 hours is met.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I can't prove or deny this, but I would imagine there's not a drone out there that's going through this right now.
You know,
Maybe
I don't
there
know.
is, maybe there's
is.
not,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you
I
don't
know
hear
what the
anybody say
quality is.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
But you know, like going through that automotive standard, it's definitely a higher standard than what an agriculture standard is.
To an extent, it is, and part of it is once you reach a certain certification standpoint to produce components for Ford, GM, or Chrysler, for anything to come out of ours, they have to meet those same standards, or we lose that certification and the automotive side. So, regardless, we have to meet these standards to produce something that comes out of our facility.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean, even if it was if we were to make an ink pen,
Yeah.
Whatever that process is, it has to meet those same standards.
Yep, yep. So one other thing I want to touch about before we go over to the booth and talk more and actually see the drone itself. So the big thing here, which a lot of people, yeah, we got an American drone, blah, blah, blah. Big thing I think setting you guys apart, you got American software.
Correct.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
Like, that's a really big deal. A big deal that we've been waiting on that I don't really feel like we've had. And not only do you have the American software, which I'm going to toot my horn here. So last year when you and I talked, you said, what do we got to have for that software? I said an app. And you delivered, my guy. We got an app coming.
So now let me ask you this. Do you think it's worth the wait?
Absolutely.
All right.
I mean, I can't tell you how many phone calls I get, like the Talos T60, for instance. It's a great drone. We love it. We ran it all year this year, have zero complaints about that drone. I cannot tell you how many times people won't buy it, or I get phone calls, well, it doesn't have an app, doesn't have an app, doesn't have an app, doesn't have an app. Well, we got an app now.
This is what I want for our business. That sign is awesome.
I appreciate it.
Well,
hey,
what I want is we don't have a sign outside of our building yet. But I want something so the birds can't build a nest behind the cutout.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be rude in any way, shape, or form, but we're filming a podcast, sweetie. I apologize. No, you're fine. If you want to take one of my cards or swing back by later, I'd love to talk to you. Sorry about that. But kind of going back, like that's like that app. Like I feel like that app is a really crucial thing that guys, farmers, applicators, they want that app. Running, that they can control stuff, or, they don't want to have to lug that remote around with them if they want to map a field or do this. Like, I mean, a lot of times, I get done spraying at the end of the day, I go home, I'm, can't sleep or whatever, I'm wanting to make maps or something for the next day that I can just hit the ground running.
Correct.
And, you guys are launching with that app to start off with.
Yes.
And like, I mean, you don't got to go, crazy in detail, but just kind of give us like a little bit of insight, little key points, about that American software you guys are having right now.
So, I personally, I don't have a ton of experience flying on it. So my beta testing was not done with that over the summer.
Yeah.
It kind of came out after my application window closed. But what some of the, I guess, the key takeaway points are is when we developed the software, we sat down with some very close industry partners, and we said, okay, like what do you guys want? What are you guys looking for in your ground control software?
Yeah.
And we took I shouldn't say that, we took a lot of the pain points that other people had in their software and tried to make it as streamlined and as easy as possible. Now, when you look at it, me coming from the ag side, I tried to mimic a lot of the data stuff to look like John Deere Ops.
Yep.
How it flows. You have a client, a farmer, or a client, a farm, and then another subcategory underneath that, and then you can get into like what your application is. Is it fungicide? Is it dry spread? Fertilizer? Is it foliar feed? And the way that it manages it really makes it extremely streamlined.
Yep.
And a lot more, in my opinion, user-friendly. And then we added some tweaks, like what do we have to have? Like one of the biggest things that I've had, and I haven't used it applying yet, but just in the test flights, is a split screen version where I can have the map running on the bottom half and the camera on the top, but along the middle I have all my parameters that are live across the middle of it. And that's something that we have a demonstration going over there that shows you this stuff.
Okay.
It's been a really big hit.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. There's a lot of time and resources and funds that went into developing that for our drone system, and hopefully, what the big picture is I would really strongly hope that sets the bar for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And as far as like the American Drone Initiative goes, we want to work with everybody. Like we want to work with other companies that have that same direction as us, where, if they're struggling sourcing a product or we're struggling sourcing a product in the U.S., at the end of the day, I want to beat out the Chinese drone manufacturers.
Absolutely.
I want to. I don't care for first, second, or third, but I don't want to see a Chinese drone first, second, or third.
Yep.
And if I want to work together with all the U.S. guys that want to make this push, and even if they want to come over here and say, okay, we are a Chinese-based company, but we are going to bring our manufacturing to the U.S. That's great for the U.S.
Yeah.
That sets a standard for it. And if we have to push that and drive that, damn it, we're going to do it.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, we're going to hard charge it, and we'll be at the front.
That's awesome.
Catch up to us or get out of the way, man, because we're coming. We're not going to stop.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. It's, like I said, it's been a whirlwind for the past year and a half now, but I got good vibes. I think something's cool happening.
I appreciate that.
I really do, and we've been excited for a while now to finally be able to tell my customers and clients that we've been working on stuff like this behind the scenes, and I'm just excited that we can finally talk about it now.
It's crazy. There's a red drone over there.
I know. Like,
did you see the red drone?
You guys are going to get a sneak peek on possibly a drone that might have been made for Apexx. We're going to go check that out here in a minute. Mike, anything else you want to add before we go over to the booth and look at some drones?
No, I'd say we could head over there, kind of check out the drones, check out some of our concepts, which has been a big hit.
Yep. We got something pretty cool for a concept. You guys are going to like this.
It's been
Nobody
a big
else
hit.
is doing this. This
Yeah.
is going to be pretty awesome
Yep.
to see.
Yeah, we can walk over there, show everybody what it looks like too.
Perfect. All right, brother. Let's
Appreciate
go check
it,
it
man.
out.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right, guys, so we're at Exedy's booth here at the Spray Drone End User Conference. I'm with the Vice President of this crazy, awesome idea for the American drone going on right now. This is Scott Bender. We met last year when I met Mike. Really good guy. I've got really good vibes and everything going on with this company. Scott, kind of tell me a little bit, where'd this come from? And you got a lot going on right now. You're running crazy with shit.
Yep, as I kind of touched on it in my speech this morning, is that, about 6-7 years ago, we kind of wanted to expand out of the auto industry and get into something that could complement our existing engineering know-how.
Yep.
So we kind of looked at a lot of things, and drones actually fit because of the propellers and the electric propulsion. We are good at electrical propulsion. We have products that do that, and we're also experts at CFD, computational fluid dynamics, in our torque converters. So the propellers were kind of a natural fit. So we got into making props, carbon fiber props, and then motors in Japan at our parent company in Japan. And so as then Exedy Japan decided to invest into a company called Baybars, which is a Turkish agricultural drone company. And so we're here, and I read about that in the Exedy global paper.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about that. So started engaging some local farmers that I work with on my farm up in the Thumb of Michigan, and started talking about drones. And we started talking about the potential. I'm like, wow, this could be something.
Yeah.
Maybe something we can get into. And so then actually talked a little bit more. Talked to the Turkish guys. We learned a bit more about it, and we started looking at the market here and started getting more feedback, and got to the point where it was like, this is something we can actually get into.
Yeah.
Everything's coming from overseas. The feedback we got is that, hey, just give us a strong basic drone. We want good after-sales support, built in USA, produced with high quality. And we're like, man, this is something we could deliver on. Yeah. And so we decided to establish the business unit about 2 years ago. And we ramped up very quickly, but we're a very steep learning curve, of course.
Yep.
But here we are, and we're going to go into production in later this year with our first model, which is the Air CX over here.
Yep.
And
You want to go walk around and talk about it a little bit?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
So the CX is a 15-gallon tank.
Notice what color it is, guys.
Yeah. Red, white, in blue over there. Yeah, so the CX is a 15-gallon tank. It's kind of the common standard, like middle, like you have like 3 classes of drone. You got small drones, medium drones, and large drones. So this is kind of that middle class 2 offering.
Yeah.
And so yeah, about 67% of the SKU is locally sourced. All the frame components, plastic components, everything is locally sourced. Few of the electronics come from overseas, motors come from overseas, and as we go into production, we're going to continue to try to bring that content here to the U.S.
Which that's like me and Mike talked about earlier when we started this video. I think that was probably my main takeaway from your presentation today, announcing this. I think it was awesome that you addressed the elephant in the room that there is not an American-made drone.
Yeah.
Everybody says, we're American, we're American. No, there's not an American-made drone.
No.
And I think it's awesome that you admitted that fact and admitted that, you got this much of percent that's American, and you have a plan every year to where that's getting closer and closer to 100%.
Right.
You're honest about it and upfront and actually have a plan to make this American in the next foreseeable future. And that's refreshing. We've never gotten that before.
Right. So, for us, we're about it. So it will be built in the USA, but we're going to have global and local content.
Yep.
But you're right. But it's not just that. But a pure American drone doesn't even exist yet.
No.
And I showed our CXL concept, and with good science and a lot of good luck.
Yeah, heard that.
We'll have a prototype here next year showing that.
Absolutely.
And we're excited because we will be testing that this summer.
Yeah.
They're the first alpha samples.
Yep.
Well, so this one, we got the one flying up there. That's got the spreader tank in it. That's an 18.5-gallon spreader tank.
Okay.
And then on the other side, we got another 15-gallon CX, and it's got the 4 sprayers on it, so you can get them in 2 or 4 sprayer setups.
Okay.
Yep.
Something else I think is cool, like you talked about, just kind of something fun for farmers and applicators and stuff running business. If you guys notice, they're all different colors. You guys are having color options. First drone company ever that's doing that. It's cool.
It's kind of a fun little novelty.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's just it's not a whole lot for us to do that.
Well, it's you putting your automotive touch on the drone market, and it's cool.
We got this from one of our first demos. We one of the partner farms we work with, Laracha Farms, they pull up and the guy's got his semi all decked out in Detroit Lions colors.
Yeah.
And then you see one of the tractors, they got a lot of stuff on the side. And I started thinking, I'm like, and then even one of them goes, do I have to always get it in black? Because the one we had was black. I'm like, I guess not. I don't know why not. So we started thinking about it. It's like, let's offer color options. Let's personalize it. These things aren't cheap.
Right, for sure. And not only that, like, there are applicators out there or farmers that they're going to buy something because they can make it the color they want.
Yeah.
Like, I got one of my best friends, Casey, out in Utah. He's an applicator. The dude is ate up with orange. Like, ate up with orange. You tell him that he can have an orange drone, he's going to have a fleet of orange drones because he's got an orange drone.
But it's not just that. We've actually had a request for a high-vis yellow.
Yeah.
And that wasn't just because they wanted a yellow. They wanted to be able to see it from far away. And even though we have the capes a certain color, the cover is a certain color for that, and you have lights.
Yeah.
They wanted to have more visibility.
Yep.
And we painted the high-vis yellow, and we're like, man, this is going to be the most popular color. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and that's like, all of our drones, everything out there is black.
Yeah.
Black with gray components for the most part. Exedy's got some red thrown in there, but it's minuscule.
Yeah.
All of our drones that we fly, we wrap the arms with reflective tape of different colors so I know what drone is what, and just like you just said, so you can see it. Any of these colors here are going to stand out on a background as opposed to black.
Yeah.
Like, color's good. Like, we want color. And, you just said something about the lights a minute ago. I think that's a really cool thing, what you guys did with the lights.
Oh, the rock lights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Rock Light's a good American company down in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And everybody knows Rock Lights,
And they're
especially in
bright.
this industry. Yeah.
They are bright.
Yes.
So finally have a drone that's putting off enough light that we can see it,
Yeah.
So
we did some luminescence testing on it at night, and we had a T50. And so we were like, okay, as long as it's as good as the T50, but then we shined it, was like, whoa, that's a lot better than T50.
No, that's awesome.
It's, you can see everything,
Yeah.
And so in the end, we can even do higher light concentration if we want to.
Yeah.
This is the first one. And again, for us, we're all about feedback. We want people, we've gotten such excellent feedback. Hey, you guys, you should try this. You should try this. And for us, that's like just, oh, you got it, man. And it's like not like, no, we're not going to do that. No, you give me a list. I'm going to try it.
And that's another thing. I think it's awesome that you guys have that mentality. So many have that mentality. Well, this is what it is because we like it this way.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, you want to change it? Let's change it. Let's make it better.
Yeah.
You guys are open to ideas,
Yeah.
which is refreshing. It's not something very common in this industry anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate. I mean,
So-
for us, I mean, we're here. We're with you guys.
Yeah.
So it's like when you come up and say, I want this. I mean, there's no. Why would I say no?
Right.
The only reason I can say no to you is like, oh, I can't. It's a safety issue,
Right.
or that's going to affect performance in a negative way.
Yep.
But at least I got to consider it and evaluate it.
Yep.
Because we have to be market driven.
Yep.
This market right now is not. The drones aren't market driven. These drones are forced on this market.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's the drone. These are your options. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the drones coming in, they're great.
Yeah, for sure.
They're great drones.
For sure.
But let's have the market have their own comments on it, their
Yep.
own decision. Let's think about it. What did I say? The Guns N' Roses Mad Dog 2020 donuts in the parking
That's
lot.
awesome. That's great.
Drone,
Yeah, absolutely. So not drone related. So I got to ask this. So I'm going to say this morning you were probably pretty nervous releasing this to the public.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? Are you feel like just a weight's been lifted off your shoulders that you're hey, we're announced, people know we're here, I can breathe again?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
probably been a stressful couple of years to this point, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, it's been exciting.
Yes.
But like today, it's like it's here we are. We got the booth. We got everything. This is just kind of us saying we're here. We're not going anywhere.
Yep.
And again, the feedback tell us because we want to stay here.
Yeah.
I want a bigger booth next year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So for us, it's like, the pressure's off.
Yeah.
But a new pressure came.
Yeah.
It's like
Got to be a good feeling though.
It's
Gotta
a great
be.
feeling.
Yeah.
It's like I got that one done. Now, okay, guys, let's move. All right, we're getting the feedback. Let's take that feedback and let's move forward. We got
Yep.
a lot of really great feedback about what we're trying to do.
Yep.
The big drone that I showed with the boom. That actually was feedback of having a few beers.
Yeah.
It may not have been beer. It may have been bourbon.
Some of the best ideas come after that.
With guys, farmers who didn't never used drones before.
Yeah.
And they say, can you put like a big boom across the back? I'm like, oh, maybe. And do they have to be? Are they electric or are they gas? I'm like, they're electric. Can they be gas? So
I'm telling you right now, if you can get me to where I don't have to listen to a damn generator anymore, you're not going to be best friends. Every operator out there says the same thing.
And that's our light chip concept.
Yeah.
That's the we're going to have that sled. We're going to test it.
Yep.
And the first one we get is just a pilot, so it's only got 5,000 pound payload. 77 kilowatt hours is a lot, but for drones, we're going to go through that quite fast. And then we'll get that F-150. We'll plug it in. We'll see how the trickle charge works on it.
Yep.
But it's again, you don't got to listen to it. You don't got to smell it.
For sure.
So we're actually taking the loud, stinky part. We're putting it in the drone.
Exactly.
And we're putting the batteries in the trailer. We're kind of doing the opposite.
Yeah.
So
Swap that and get the drone. Get the noise away from it.
Right,
Let it go fly in the field. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. So yeah. So we had the 3 Air CXs.
Yep.
Over here, we got the Michigan State hybrid drone. That's
Yep.
the Capstone
That's
team.
they're next on the list.
Yeah.
We're going to get them to show us their brainchild
We're
here.
excited about that. And then over there, we got our prototype for the 20 gallon.
Okay.
With our, I'll let Connor talk about the tank that we had a lot of snafus with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But the CL is our 20 gallon offering. That's kind of an upgrade of this.
Yeah.
And we're going to be releasing this first, and then we'll finish the development on that. That'll be released probably next year sometime.
The thing of it is, in all honesty, like it seems like everybody's trying to release a bigger drone. That drone right there is never not going to have a market.
I agree.
I make just as much money off this little drone doing specialty stuff as I do a big drone like that doing fungicide.
Yeah,
that drone isn't going to do the specialty work I need it to do. It's too big.
Yeah.
And I got to move it around, lug it around. I need one this size to go do that. And this market is never going to be gone.
I agree. And we have to be able to supply every class in the market. We've had a lot of requests. Can you go even smaller?
100. I hope you do.
We can. Yeah, that's
one of
our plans.
Yeah, one of our favorite drones we run is the T25, which everybody and their brother. I got a list 2 pages long of people who want to buy my used ones.
Yeah.
Because it's so maneuverable and so easy. You know, and I feel like a lot of these drone companies are forgetting that. Everybody's just trying to make a big drone right now.
Yeah.
And everybody's forgetting about, okay, what about the niche markets? What about the ditch work, the, you know, residential work, the, you know, the little jobs that you don't need 50 gallons to go spray. I need 5.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's great that, you know, you guys are looking at that and keeping this mid-sized to small-sized drone still on the market, still relevant.
I think, you know, we're not going to replace this with that one.
Right.
This is an addition.
Yep.
People are going to want this. People are going to need that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people are going to need the even bigger one.
Yeah.
And there's really no solution for like some fields that just can't use drones right now.
Correct.
They're too big.
Yep.
You'll never make it down and back.
Yep.
And unless you're like driving around the perimeter of the field and going in, then that's not even effective at that point.
No.
So, and that's where you're going to need a big drone. But with a big drone, you're going to keep buying all those batteries and replacing all those.
Yes.
That's a heck of a thing where it comes back, I throw a little bit of gas in, get it and go.
Yep.
You know, we're
Yep.
in automotive engines, gas engines are reliable.
Yep.
That technology is perfected.
Yep.
So
Yep.
why not?
No, I appreciate it, Scott. Is there anything else you want to add or comment or throw in there?
No, I'm just enjoy. Go talk to the other guys and enjoy what they got to say.
Perfect.
We really love our partnership with Michigan State on this, and we're gonna continue that with them. They've been amazing to work with.
Good.
We're really excited what the future of this holds. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks
Scott,
so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, guys, moving on. We're going to show you some more stuff at the Exedy booth. I'm with Connor here. He's going to tell you his title, tell you what he does for the company, and kind of walk you through some of the stuff with the bigger drone here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Connor. I'm the Advanced Design and Development Engineer here at Exedy. We are looking at the prototype of the AirCL. So the big change that it sounds like we've already talked about is the 20-gallon tank. This is a prototype. We ran a different one back in Michigan before we drove down here. And unfortunately, due to what I'm hearing is, I think, the worst winter weather storm in Kansas City in years.
I believe it.
The tank shattered in the truck. So this is a couple of tanks that we've cut apart and glued back together to approximate the shape. But that's all it is.
And as you guys can see, I mean, you can zoom in here and look at this. You guys did a hell of a job.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty legit.
I'm glad to hear it. It's definitely a trial by fire getting it all here, but we're just hoping that you can see past the seam and see what it's going to be. But definitely we're trying to have bigger be better here. We want to have a 20-gallon capacity, and this design is going to let us do that. We're for this and the CXL as well, we're just trying to increase capacity here. I've done design work on the landing gear as well. This is an existing landing gear from the logistics drone, just to meet the size.
Yeah.
I've done a separate design that in our presentation of the CXL you could see. The idea is we would like long term to be able to not have to do bends at all on the pipe going in.
Okay.
So having all of the joints be comprised in the landing gear itself is going to allow us to remove an operation from the procedure.
Okay.
So that'll be really nice for us there. That's another feature that is not on this drone that I wish I could show you at this time.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
The best I can do is describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
Well, I got one question about your landing gear here. So probably, and me and Mike talked about this last year, one of my favorite things I think about the smaller drone is where you guys put the support bars. So all the drones that I've flown, they all have that support bar here and here. And we all have that issue of these things spreading out when you're landing with heavy loads. I love that you guys put the support bars between the bottom on the smaller drone. How come you guys moved back up to the front and the back instead of keeping the support bars on the bottom with the bigger drone?
I'm glad you asked. So for the landing gear that I've designed, we're actually keeping it down low.
Perfect.
So this exists for a logistics drone, and we installed it for convenience to make sure that the 20-gallon tank was going to fit.
Yep.
But in development, the landing gear that we have is not going to move that back up there.
Perfect.
I completely agree with you.
Yep. And I think that's a very overlooked thing. And I've always wondered why people don't have the supports on the bottom. And I'm like, and then you guys do it. And I'm like, yes.
I know. I'm completely with you.
Yeah, awesome. So do you guys, let me ask you this, do you have the bigger spreader for the bigger drone yet as well, or is that coming later?
That's coming later.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, you got anything else you want to add on the big drone here?
Gosh, well, I don't think so from my side.
Okay.
So the stuff I've mostly worked on here is the tank and the landing.
Okay, perfect. Well, hey, Connor, I really appreciate your time, buddy. Thank you.
Much.
All right, guys, moving past here in the booth again. I'm with Garrett Westfall. This is brainchild here.
Yeah.
So he is with the Michigan State Unmanned Drone Team. So you guys have probably the first hybrid drone I've ever seen in person. So tell me a little bit about it. I mean, where did it come from? How'd you come up with the idea? Where are we at with it right now?
Yeah, so this is my senior project, my capstone project. I study mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And I interned with Exedy over the summer. I was talking to Scott, and Scott had wanted to do a hybrid drone for a while now. And it was just kind of a thing up in the cloud for a while.
Yeah.
And I get to school and I get a text from one of my buddies, Ethan, and he says that he's got a professor with an engine. And he wants to throw it on a drone. So I was like, wow, you guys must have our meeting rooms tapped or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So we have the perfect model for it, or the perfect frame for it.
Okay.
And so my professor, his name's Dr. Schock.
Okay.
He runs a company called Jetfire, and Jetfire, what it is.
We can zoom in and
Yeah.
look at any of this stuff too that he wants to show here.
So Jetfire is a turbulent jet injection system, and what it is it's this injector here. You have a fuel injector, a valve, a spark plug, and it runs on about 10 to 20 psi of pressure. And it's a pre-ignition chamber. So what you do, you inject fuel into here, and compressed air. You ignite it, and it comes out in a jet, similar to the way a diesel injector works, where you have about 6 jets coming out. What that does, it gives you a more complete and full combustion and immediate combustion when you need it.
Yeah.
And that ends up giving you a lot better fuel economy. So at 3,000 RPM with this engine, we're running a 40% decrease in fuel consumption. About 5,000 RPM, it's about 30% decrease in fuel consumption.
So I know everybody watching this video is going to want to know, like, what type of fuel are we running in this?
So this one runs on gasoline. This engine is capable of running on both gasoline, diesel, kerosene, and heavy fuels.
Like, if it was up to you, like, what is your goal? Which fuel are you going to try to go after? Like, what do you like efficiency wise? What do you see is going to be the best fuel source for this hybrid engine? Are you going to stay with the gas? Are you going to move?
It's probably going to be gasoline, just because it's most widely available.
Okay, perfect.
There might be in the future a diesel model
Okay.
that we sell, but yeah, for now it's gasoline.
And just coming from that ag and that farmer standpoint, I could see where that diesel one is going to obviously appeal to a lot of your farmers and ag guys, because pretty much every farmer out there has a diesel tank in the bed of his truck. So you're already running diesel, all your equipment, most tractors, everything's diesel anyways. Running everything with that diesel, I think, is going to be a benefit moving into the future. So how long have you guys been working on this to get to this point here?
I started this project in September.
Okay.
So it's been about 4 months.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, about 4 months.
Okay.
To get up to this point. In September, I had a meeting with a couple of professors, Ethan and a couple other guys, and that's when this was all kind of planned out and what we were going to do.
Yeah.
And at first, we had some troubles getting an engine, so we were playing with a plastic model into CAD. And then very recently, we ended up getting an actual engine in our hands.
Okay.
And we were able to install that, and that's where we're at now.
Perfect. Do you want to zoom in and kind of walk through the engine and components a little bit here and just kind of show off what you've done here? I mean, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so here we've got a radiator. This comes off a Mini Cooper or BMW a heater core, and it's plumbed into the engine. Up here it goes into, or comes out of the cylinder heads, goes into the crankcase area. And we've got our ignition coils down here that connect to our spark plugs up here. We've also got glow plugs in there for if you're running on diesel. And right here's a thermocouple for temperature measurements. Over here we have our fuel rail with injectors on it. This is your intake. This is your exhaust. If you come over, and this is your fuel tank. If you come over on the other side. Excuse me, sir. Over on this side, this is our generator. It's a 100 kV brushless motor, very similar to what you have on the propellers on your drones. And this is both the starter and the generator. So when this spins, it gives out 3-phase AC power, which goes up into the hood to an inverter that converts it to DC. If you want to start the engine, it's just a button on your remote, and there's an ESC in here that powers this motor, which is more than capable to start the engine.
Yeah. So all in all, I mean, this is pretty awesome. Like this is definitely, I mean, I'm sure other people have been working on this, but this is the first one that has actually been brought out to the public as a concept showing. It's pretty awesome to see it in person.
No, I was
is.
really excited when I got the opportunity to work on this, and everyone agreed to it. So.
And it's what's obviously this just kind of got announced today that this was a thing and was here and yada yada yada. What's the feedback been today? Because I'm sure a lot of people
overwhelmingly.
I'm sure you've been pretty popular today.
I've been very popular. I've been talking nonstop for the
awesome.
past several hours.
Probably tired of people in.
a little bit, but. Yeah, no, overwhelmingly positive.
Awesome.
There's a lot of people giving me some ideas on how this is going to look in the future.
Yep.
What size we're going up to, where this can scale to.
Yeah.
And
obviously a lot to be very proud of right here. A lot to be very proud of.
Thank you.
So, kind of stepping away from the drone here, like on you a little bit, what's the future look like for you? Like you said, you're a senior. Where are you headed from here?
I just graduated in December.
Okay.
I've got a full-time job with Exedy.
Awesome. So we can expect more great things from you moving forward.
Yeah,
awesome.
You can.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Exedy will be sending me to Japan for 6 to 8 months here, starting in June.
Cool.
And I will be studying some computer or some CFD over there, and I'll be designing propellers and looking at swath and spray deposition.
Awesome.
Sort of
So like with your prototype here, your concept, the way you've got it, motor, everything right now, is there anything that, like if you had unlimited abilities to change anything right now to make this just 100% the way you want it, is there anything you'd change, or are you pretty happy with everything you got right now?
Overall, I'm pretty happy with everything right now. The engine probably, if we could get that in aluminum. Right now it's a 3D printed engine. It's 3D printed out of titanium. This was sourced from Cobra Aero, who makes engines for the military and for their drones.
Yeah.
And so they need something that's very reliable. Obviously, so does agriculture. But when they do that, that's 3D printed out of titanium, mainly for weight and space savings. So we can get that out of aluminum. It's going to be slightly different design.
Yep.
And that would be the main thing right now.
Perfect. Well, Garrett, I really appreciate you taking the time. Add me on your list of people in today.
Yeah, I will.
Anything else you want to add before we close out, or you got everything pretty much covered out there?
Yeah, I got everything covered.
Perfect. Garrett, I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Next here at the booth, I'm with Jake. Jake handles all the testing, the manufacturing, nuts and bolts, everything down to the wire with the drones. Jake, just kind of give me a little bit of run through, like your guys' testing, what you do, where you're at, just kind of a little summary of what you want to do with Exedy and the drones.
Obviously, we want to grow this. Want to be 100% U.S. made.
Yep.
Testing wise, every drone at the end of lines, we have end of line checks. We take them out. We have a spot behind our building with a little course. We fly them. We bring them back in. We put a handheld torque wrench on there and just check. We have certain bolts that we check on there, make sure they don't loosen up and everything. We do that to every 2 or every 5. That come back in. We run vigorous tests on motors, on corner pieces, on arms, on wings. Really, everything goes through a test. The motors, really, for the spraying and the nozzles are one of our big ones that we really love to test. Want to make sure the motors can handle the weight and the time, and the batteries as well.
I'd say one of the big tests, like you and I talked about, Mike, earlier, and then Scott really brought up today, your 500-hour test.
500-hour test.
That's a big deal that I don't feel like anybody's doing.
It's very rigorous too.
Yeah. Just kind of, so I'm sure a lot of people don't know what that is. Just kind of give a little kind of quick hit on what you guys are doing and what you're testing for there.
Okay.
What you're trying to accomplish with it.
Actually, the drone that's in our commercial right there.
Yeah.
We took that drone, we completely went through it, paint, pen, mark, checked, and wrote down all the torque specs on every bolt that's assembled on there. We bolted it onto a blast tester. It is chained down from the frame and then also the legs, and it runs a cycle of a full spray cycle. So it takes off, stables out, turns, goes, makes another turn, turn. I think it's a 5-turn, comes back, lands, or turns, and then lands. And then we constantly run that and swap batteries. So it is really going to tell us like the corner pieces, how long the arms can go, the EFCs, the motors, the wings. So it's just showing everything and like the strength of the corner pieces.
Yeah. So you guys are going to have a really good idea where stuff's going to fail, and you're going to fix it before it comes out to everybody else.
Exactly.
So that we don't have to figure out where it's going to fail.
We want this to be the most easiest turnkey drone on the market. And something you can fix right on the spot on a trailer. And not have to go back to a shop and take 9,000 bolts out and change a corner piece when you crash it. You know, you can be back on the farm in 20 minutes.
No, that's awesome. Jake, I really appreciate it. Anything else you want to add or anything, bud?
No, sir.
Perfect. I appreciate your time, Jake. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so we're moving on here. We're kind of finishing up this. We're going to talk about the software that Exedy is employing, US-based software. I'm here with Chris. He is the head of the software design and everything going on with this. Chris, kind of walk me through a little bit, show me what we got. I know earlier you and I, Mike, we talked about the big thing here. We got an app coming with this. Pretty awesome. We have a USA-based software. Run me through it. Just kind of give me a quick synopsis, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and what you're proud of about it.
Yeah, we're really proud of the software that we're bringing to market with Exedy. What we've done is really unique to their brand, and we're providing a unified app experience across multiple devices, which is what you see here. So it doesn't matter if I'm operating here on the handheld controller, I'm holding a tablet, or I'm working on my laptop computer, I'm going to have access to all of my data across any one of those devices. The only thing that's unique about the handheld controller in this case is, of course, you have to have this thing to fly. So you'll be able to manage all your operations, manage all of your boundary files, organize everything in the standardized format that you're used to. Boundaries categorized by client, farm, and field really makes it easy to move your data between different ecosystems as well. Something, again, that's really unique to Exedy. They're really set on being able to use that data and use it across all of your different platforms that you need in your organization. So if we're looking here on screen, we have these really easy to use drawing tools. Being able to draw boundaries, you'll be able to import all your boundary files from common ag platforms. We have an all new GCS user interface. So you can see we have a 50-50 view.
That's a pretty sweet screen.
It's
Nobody's done it. That's pretty
awesome.
This, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it's really set up to help the operator take full advantage of the screen that they have. We've removed a lot of the buttons, and we've removed a lot of the UI that you don't need. What is an operator when they need to fly? What they need on their screen is they need to be able to see that camera view, and then they need to be able to see that map view to make sure they're covering where they think they need to be covering. So it's a feature that we're really, really proud of. We just started flying this with our test team. It's been receiving a lot of really positive feedback, and we look forward to improving it over the next few months before we hit market.
Perfect. So like a couple things, like touching on that. So one of the big things as a pilot, I think is very important, and I've kind of talked to the other guys here, Manual Plus. I know you guys are pushing that in with the new software, everything. That's a pretty handy tool to have, obviously. As far as like your integration between the app, your web-based stuff, the remote, all that stuff. So like having the app, having that ability, so like at the end of the day, I don't have to lug this around with me to go make maps if I want to make maps for the next day. I can do all that on the phone and push all that straight up to the remote, correct?
Absolutely. You can do that from your phone. You can do it from the tablet on your couch or the tailgate on your pickup while you're having a few beers. It's all available across all those platforms. And one of the other things that you can do, because it is available through that cloud service, is maybe I fly half of it today, and you're going to come fly the rest of it tomorrow. I don't have to give you a handheld controller to go fly. You just show up, you log in, you can pick up where I left off. So it makes it really easy for multiple people to work on the same operation. So going off of that then, so like if I have, like let's say you're running a pretty big commercial business, you've got 10 crews or whatever, is this based off of almost like a cloud service type deal where like if I make maps, but I need
this map to go to team A, this map to go to team B, all those guys can pull those maps regardless of where they're at in the field from that same location?
Absolutely, and not only can they pull those maps, as the organizer of all of those jobs, you'll be able to see on the map, and I'll show here in just a minute, on your home screen, you'll be able to see where everybody is operating and what they got completed that day as well.
Awesome, awesome. From one other thing here, from like a billing standpoint, so obviously, you know, your guys doing all the acre spraying, they're not the ones doing the billing. You've got somebody else sitting at home trying to keep track of all that. How is this working to funneling everything in from that application stage next to the final stage where you're getting paid for all the work you just did?
Yeah, great question. So Exedy has partnered with Acre Connect, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to take all of that flight data, automatically import it into Acre Connect, where you can match that with your work orders, and Acre Connect being integrated into QuickBooks, it allows you to do easy billing based on all of that information being in one system. So you can produce your application maps, you can produce your product usage reports, and easily bill for those jobs when they're done, all by just using this system to start with.
That's going to save a lot of people a lot of headaches. It's pretty awesome. So obviously, you guys have done a great job. I hope you're proud of it, because just seeing it and getting to play with stuff, it looks pretty amazing. I mean, do you see anything, you know, for the future moving forward that you're still wanting to change or tweak a little bit or add to it, or where are you headed with this?
Yeah, you know, this is really, I tell people this is the foundation. This is where Exedy is going to start from. We have lots of goals and aspirations beyond this, a lot of unique features that'll be only available through the Exedy platform and through their GCS. So those things are kind of in some testing and some R&D right now, so we're not going to unveil those today, but stay tuned, because they'll definitely be probably showing those online here probably in the next couple months.
Awesome, awesome. And like, correct me if I'm wrong here, so this being American based, if I have problems with it or need support, I actually get to talk to somebody right here in America.
You can talk to me.
That's awesome.
You get to talk to me.
That's awesome. And I can understand you. That's
Absolutely,
a big thing.
yeah.
Hey, we're speaking English.
And not only can you talk to me, you know, if you've got an issue, we can respond to it right away. So maybe you're having a problem in the field and you caught something and you need a response right now. What's my workaround right now? You're talking not only to myself, but my engineering team that's here in the US. So we can respond and make sure that we get something fixed, and we can push out that update for you while you're out in the field.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I really appreciate, from a pilot standpoint, that you guys are actually taking feedback and changing and tweaking things to make this work for us. Because at the end of the day, that's who it's got to work for. And you guys are actually listening to the pilots. So it's awesome. So, Chris, I really appreciate your time, buddy. Anything else you want to add or close out on, or anything with what you got?
No, we're really excited for the future. We believe Exedy's building a really unique product for a market that needs it, and we're excited to help them get to market.
Perfect. Chris, hey, I really appreciate your time, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, guys, we are finishing up the video. We've kind of walked you guys through the drones, the software, everything making Exedy what it is. We're finishing up with Joe. You got to walk me through these batteries, buddy.
No, for sure.
You're the procurement manager. What do we got? Show me what we got with these batteries.
Yeah, so we got 34,000 milliamp batteries. We got 2 of them in our charger pack right now. So with our 15-gallon tank, you've got about 40% battery after one big haul. It depends, obviously, your route optimization naturally. We got a 2-charge system. You can fast charge it in about 9 to 10 minutes, maybe 11 depending on the temperature. But you can also do a slow charge for both and integrate how you kind of want. It's a really good setup that we've got going on. And this is actually one thing we're working with other companies as well, is to really expand the battery pack how we want to use it, right? So the battery pack has a BMS, the battery management software, right, that really makes sure that the voltage, the amperage, everything you need going to your drone or whatever application you have is working well and is safe. I mean, these are bombs, right? So you gotta be really careful that you do it. Also, on the side of these, we have these kind of slits, and actually DJI,
you want to come in and look at it?
Come on over here, kind of had these slits. The DJI actually had kind of like a vent area here. Well, this battery has a lot more surface area to be in contact with air, and it really works very, very well for heat dissipation. But yeah, we're really excited with what we're bringing to the market, and Exedy Drones is bringing a lot. So yeah, I wanted to give you a little bit about me too, because I know last year we met at Commodity Classic, right? But before I came to Exedy, I was actually with a company that started to offshore. It was kind of a later OEM adapter of offshoring, and when I really met Exedy and see what they were doing with this drone project, it meant a lot to me, because we were onshoring all these jobs, and we really wanted to do something real, and it kind of felt like a vocation. It felt like I was doing something good for people, and
you know, you look at all these people around and just great human beings, and
Yeah.
it just feels really good to be a part of something like this.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, like going on top of that, like everybody here at Exedy, like you guys all seem to work really well together. Everybody's got good moods. Like you guys just all kind of work off each other, and it's cool. I know the one question that everybody always wants to ask: charging these things, running watts. Like, what am I needing to charge these batteries?
Yeah, so this is a 12,000 watt charger.
Okay.
So you need to look at in generators. Well, you know what works for you optimally. We're not trying to get in the generator space.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So it just depends on how you
guys
want to
are
set
just
up.
getting rid of generators altogether, making gas powered drones.
Exactly.
See?
You're darn right, man. We got the hybrids coming.
Perfect.
They're
Perfect.
good.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add? Push forward with this battery?
Not really too much. It's just it's really capable. We really like how it's doing. We haven't really had any issues with the Molex like a lot of other competitors have. And we're really progressing in a lot of different spaces than just the batteries. You know, our flight controller mechanisms. What we're trying to do here is special.
So one last kind of question, talking about the batteries here. So like you guys, like, you know, everybody's kind of got that ready to fly kit, drone, so many batteries, blah, blah, blah. What are you guys recommending for that ready to fly kit with how many batteries you want to start with?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, if it really depends on your flight optimization, your routes, etc.
Yep.
That's always the boring answer, right?
Yep.
Well, usually about 3.
Okay.
2 can do the job depending on your application, but we recommend 3, 1 charger. Obviously getting a spreader kit to, you know, get other application usage, but 3 and you're good. Yeah,
So,
but then when you move to the hybrid that we've been talking about, you barely need 1 for, you know, that you barely need to replace.
Yeah. Heat dissipation on these batteries.
Yeah.
You know, Midwest, it's ungodly hot. Middle of summertime, we're doing fungicide. These batteries get hot, like really, really, really hot. How, obviously, I mean, I know you guys are testing the batteries just like you're testing the drones. Heat dissipation, heat on the batteries, like what are you looking at? Like are they, I mean, obviously they're gonna get hot. I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, say, oh, they're getting hot, you can't run them. I mean, I mean, are they cooling off pretty good? Like we go with 3 batteries, are you cycling through, being able to get the last one cooled off before that first one's coming back?
Yeah, like kind of how I was talking about with like these kind of integrated vents on the side. There's no plating or cap that goes on it, so there's a lot of heat dissipation that's happening naturally.
Yeah.
And a lot with that movement and rest time. You know, when you're using 3, you have a really good application cycle, and that means that it's going to work as optimally as it can, right? You want to keep it in the shade. You still want to do those good things. Any battery's going to have that. But no, through our testing, it's actually been very good.
Okay, one last question I have for you. Can you repair and work on these batteries? Or once you have one going bad, it's done?
Once we have one going bad, for right now, we're saying it's done. We're looking into doing a little bit more, but we want to be safe, and we want our applicators to be safe, and also our dealership network to be safe.
Perfect.
That's paramount. So when we get it back to Exedy, we might try to manipulate it a little bit, but we don't want to give that back to our end users. So we want to make sure we're giving the best product at the right time.
Perfect. Awesome. Joe, I really appreciate anything you want to add or go on with.
No, I just really appreciate you, Cody. I love the product. I love what you do in this space, and I really respect the hell out of you.
Well, I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for the interview, but
absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, all right?
Joe, looking forward to the future, buddy.
For sure.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. So that's kind of wrapping up this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed watching everything, getting kind of a sneak peek into Exedy and the things they're bringing to the future. We, as always, appreciate you guys watching the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, follow us on here, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You guys know the drill. Just try to promote the page, try to give us comments, see what you guys would like to see, and tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate everything. Again, please like, follow the page. Helps us get viewers, helps us get more likes, and pushing stuff into the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.